Welcome,
Hello,
everybody.
everybody.
Brown and Browner. We are the post week 11 edition at this point. It's the season keeps getting crazier, to say the least. And you can't predict a lot of matchups week to week, and we'll see that in obviously what we picked. And I think a lot of it went wrong, I think, this week, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, our own team lost, which I don't know, we kind of had a glinting thought of it, but now it's real. And I got to see where the hell that's going to go.
Yeah, this season has been full of surprises, to say the least. If you look at the division leaders today, how many of those leaders, besides the Eagles, would you have picked as being a leader in their division? The Colts? Hell no. The Broncos? Hell no. The Chargers were supposed to be the team that was going to give Kansas City the most. The Steelers? Hell no. The Bears? I'm a Bears fan. But come on now, the Bears. I would have to be drunk to have, I would have had to be super drunk, pass out drunk to have thought that.
You had to have been the normal brainwashed Bears fan in the world.
You might have picked the Rams, but many people were picking the San Francisco 49ers. The only one that I think most people would have picked would be the Bucks.
Yeah, and that's it.
And they didn't look so good last week.
And they're looking weaker by the day because of injury. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's been an unpredictable season. These last 7-8 weeks are going to be crazy because of all the divisional matchups coming up. Some people have a ridiculously hard schedule. Some people have ridiculously easy schedules that might be sleepers. It's going to be very interesting to see where it all falls. My prediction right now, you're going to get all the guys that we thought were top dogs, the Buffaloes, the Chiefs, the Ravens, all that. They're fighting for wild cards. I think you're going to get unpredictable division winners.
At best. I didn't even mention the Patriots being probably the biggest. The Patriots and the Colts are the two biggest surprises outside the Bears this entire season. And the Bears might not be for real because, like you said, they got divisional games. If you look at the rest of their schedule, the next 7 games, they're only picked, in my opinion, to win 2, one against the Steelers, one against the Browns. Everything else, are they going to beat the Packers? Are they going to beat the Lions? Are they going to beat the Eagles? Are they going to beat the 49ers? I don't know.
Exactly. And that's where I say scheduling is going to be very interesting down the stretch because you got all the division leaders with tough schedules. You got a lot of these teams that we supposedly thought were out of it have super easy schedules. Could they sneak their way into the playoffs? Absolutely. It's a crapshoot. It's going to be very interesting to see. That said, crazy week already. I mean, we started off with an easy pick. We knew the Patriots were going to win. They didn't cover the 14.5, but they took care of business. They're good.
Well, and you know what? That's all you need. And remember, divisional games are some of the trickiest games to pick.
Right.
Because even if a team is 2 and whatever or 1 and whatever, they seem to get up for those games more than any other, even with the losing record and no chance of making the playoffs. So kudos to the Patriots for not falling into that trap.
And Vrabel got him going. He's the culture back, basically.
Vrabel should be coach of the year, hands down. There should be no other. I don't care what the Colts do for the rest of the year. I don't care what the Bears do the rest of the year. Nobody would have picked the Patriots to do what they're doing right now.
Maybe the coach for Seattle. Maybe.
Even the coach for Seattle.
We'll see how it ends. But I think right now, when we think about it, the Patriots would probably pick 3rd, if not last in their division to start the year. So you got to give Vrabel a hell of a lot of credit as a year 1 coach.
Got to give it to him. I mean, most people were picking the Bills and Dolphins, with the Patriots and Jets bringing up the rear. So you got to give them credit. I think they did a really good job of winning. We weren't really that bad. I just wanted to state, you said last week or week 11, you were 11-4 and I was 10-5. So we weren't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed bad because some of the games I think we picked, probably could have gone differently. But we picked the Patriots. We picked the Dolphins, talk about the worst time to have a bye week.
Yeah.
You're on a roll. You play like crap all year long. Now all of a sudden you won 2 or 3 out of 4 games, and boom, you go to a bye week.
With that said, and we'll get to this when they play, in future weeks here, they have one of the easiest schedules down the stretch.
Yeah.
Which gets very interesting.
but really, who have been the Dolphins' biggest competition or it's been themselves. They're beating themselves all year.
Yeah, it's themselves. It's
Yeah.
absolutely themselves. But you know what? You Tyreek Hill lost for the year.
Which was a plus.
Which was a plus. It's probably a locker room plus, if anything. So I mean, and I'll quickly read off their schedule. We'll get to the rest of the games here. They got the Saints, the Dolphins. The Saints, the Jets, the Steelers, the Bengals, the Bucks, and Patriots. By the time they get to Bucks and Patriots to close the year, you're talking about a team that could be in the wild card. It's scary.
Well, if they finish 500, right, which they could very well be at that point, I could see that, and they could possibly win one of those two games.
Yes.
Especially not the Bucks as much, but the Patriots. Because if the Patriots are like a solid 2 or even a 1,
potentially that week too.
So they might be sitting there, guys, which gives the Dolphins an opportunity to win that game.
Yep. So no, like I said, we'll see down the stretch. First game on Sunday was out in Madrid, Spain. Great field conditions, but like you said, Dolphins took care of business. I mean, simple as that. I mean, yes, it was an overtime game. Commanders had their opportunity, but the Commanders are also in a horrible place right now with all the decimations with injuries and everything else. I mean, their season's done. We know that with Jalen out. It's tough for me to swallow because the Commanders were supposed to be that team that could contend at one point.
I think they shot their wad last year.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, while I don't approve or support this kind of approach, if I was the coach or the owner, I would be looking at this season right now as a lost season. Yeah, I would look at, damn, we paid Terry McLaurin all this money and he hasn't played.
Yep.
Jaden's gotten hurt.
Yep.
Mariota might look okay, but he sort of is not the backup of our.
At the end of the day, your future is Jalen. You need to create a protection of a front line. How you do that? You need to draft and you need to tank to get them.
And that's what I'm saying. While I think any team that tries to do this, and I've seen some in the past actually tank games, I think I abhor that, and as the worst thing in the world.
It's unprofessional by all means.
Yeah. However, if I were them, I would sit Jaden for the rest of the year. Yeah. I would tell Terry, don't even come back. I mean, come back because we paid you now, but we want to make sure you're 100%. We'll test out some of these other young guys. We'll get a high draft pick next year. We're going to pick a lineman to make sure we protect Jaden. And we might be right back. We might have just reloaded, and next year we're right back in the NFC Championship game.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. That said, let's get into the early slate. Steelers over Bengals, called that one pretty easy, unfortunately, for Jamar Chase and Mr. Spitboy and whatnot to be suspended for a game now. I mean, unprofessional at the end of the day.
Okay, this is the second time this year that it was caught.
Yep, caught.
I'm sorry. Somebody spit on me when I played. Somebody spit on me if I just walk down the street. I'm going to jail.
Yep.
Because you don't do that to someone. That's one of the most wild, disgusting, disrespectful things you could do to an individual. And I've seen people do that. They don't spit on me, but as they walk by me, all of a sudden they're spitting to the side, like, with a disgusting look on their face. I get what that means. Yeah. But you can't do anything about that. But you could do something when somebody's spitting on you. You know what? Jamar has been a class act for the most part his career, dealing with some of the things that he's dealing with in Cincinnati, but that was the lowest of the low.
I think their locker room lost. I think their locker room is lost. They may need to look into all sorts of options at this point in Cincinnati because, Joe Burrow hasn't been healthy for a single season at all. We know that. Jamar Chase is a lost talent. I mean, you're wasting talent on the field. It's sad to say. You have no running game. Chase Brown is not Chase Brown. He's some other dude. You need to get rid of him. You need to find protection. You have no defense at all. You have Swiss cheese working there.
Well, quite frankly, I think that would be the thing that would cure all of their ills. Because if Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow, hopefully he stays healthy. Yeah. But their defense last year and this year, if you can't win a game that you score 40 points or 39 points or 35 points, so that should be their focus. Because if their defense got better, guess what else happens? The offense all of a sudden looks better. All of a sudden, they're not stressing and trying to score more points. You don't have the stars that are trying to hold back when they really want to say our defense sucks and I hate being here. I think that would change everything. That one thing.
So too. But does that also fall on the coach and the GM? And yes, absolutely it does. Because they built a horrible team. Yeah, they built a horrible team. It'll be interesting if Zach, the coach, if he can outlast his job here for a second. But things aren't looking good in Cincy. I think there's going to be a little bit of a rebuild going on. We'll see how it goes. Jags Chargers, kind of a surprising result there. Honestly, I kind of expected the Chargers to come in. I think you picked the Jags, didn't you? I think you picked Lord Farquaad.
I talked about picking the Jags.
Okay.
Let me look at the game, but I picked the Chargers.
This
I
was
talked about taking the Jags. I'm not sure the Chargers are for real. I think people wanted them, and they haven't earned the right.
This is a monumental result because now you've got a tiebreaker in the wild card over not just the Chargers, but the Chiefs too with Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad's in the playoffs.
I can't see how they miss it now because they still got some divisional games, which they should win at least half of those. The Texans aren't looking like anything. The Colts are probably going to win the division.
Yep.
I just see them making the playoffs. And we were just talking about them a few weeks ago, right after they beat Kansas City, of how poor they looked. And look at them now.
Exactly. So they're an enigma. They go week in, week out. But, hey, they got the wins where it counts right now in terms of that playoff run. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. And the Chargers, right. I don't know what the heck's going on over there. That's just another whole mess.
They are falling apart. Quite frankly, I think some of the injuries, especially to the running back, has really hurt them. And the other thing is their defense isn't quite as stout as they looked at the beginning of the year.
They showed up against the Chiefs, but then after that,
it seems like every team shows up against the Chiefs, don't they?
Well, they're supposed to. I mean, when you're on the top, the Eagles or the Chiefs, everybody's giving you your best punch. I mean, that's just the way it works at the end of the day. So,
well, and actually, aren't all teams, as they retool during the offseason, looking to beat the best team in their conference? So that's what all these teams have been built to do: is can you beat the Chiefs?
Yep. Great game of the weekend. Honestly, it was fun to watch. Bills and Bucks. Great shootout. Not surprised with the result. Bills won. You know, it was convincing. But at the end of the day, the Bucks are also falling apart because of injuries.
Yeah, I give Baker all the credit. I mean, they scored 32 points, but I think some of those points when the game was sort of already, decided. Feel bad for him that his, not having Evans, their receiving core has been this way for years. If you look at it, Evans is still, hats to him, and being that the Jerry Rice tied for his record, still have 1,000 yards. But it seems like every year they've had issues at receiver. Right. And then also having it at running back has hurt. But to me, their defense is the concern here because Tampa Bay, since what's his name came from the Jets, Bowens, I can't think of his name right now. What's Jets? Tampa Bay's coach, Terry Bowles.
Oh, no. Bowles. Todd Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. He has been, I don't know, and been able to keep the defense, in a way that helped Tampa Bay win a lot of games. This year, it's been exposed. They aren't getting enough sacks. They're not getting enough turnovers. They're getting burnt for the long plays. And it's hurting them now. If Atlanta could actually play any consistent ball, they could win their division.
Forget Atlanta. You know what I'm picking for that division right now?
Oh, the Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers.
Who actually look good. But they look good and they look bad. What's that?
Chicago almost put up 500 yards.
I think that's incredible. And honestly, I have to tip my cap to him because I guess to see what he went through last year.
Yeah.
And what he's in, the fact that he built a backbone and he dealt with all of that, and look at what he's doing this year. It's not like the Carolina Panthers did so much with their team that they're way better. They didn't get any better receivers.
Yep. Dave Canales is a phenomenal coach. They got Trevorrow McMillan, who I think is going to be a top 10 receiver in this league. That dude's just a beast right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And frankly, their defense is unheralded. They do a decent job of stopping the ball at the end of the day. So, and they've gotten the key wins over big teams. So, I mean, this team's hype. It's going to be fun to watch the South. Only one team's going to make it. We know that.
Yeah.
And
but which one now? Tampa Bay's on the free fall.
Well, and Atlanta just lost their quarterback. So now you're back to Kirko 2 Chains, coming into play.
Do you like that?
you know, he ruined Drake London the first time. Is he going to ruin him again? Because that dude's also on a tear. It's gonna be fun to watch. Maybe ATL pulls it out with Kirko. Who knows? We'll see how the South runs.
Well, you know what? If I think Atlanta got away from one thing that's really hurting them. Who's the best? Who is the number one pick in almost everybody's fantasy draft this year?
Exactly. They don't go with the run. It doesn't make any sense. You got Bijan right there.
You got Dijon. Pass me the Great Poupon. Yeah. And you don't use him? Come on, man.
I can't explain a lot of coaching this year. It's a little wild. Next, we go to the beloved Bears over Vikings. I mean, this team just keeps on winning in the fourth quarter.
That, honestly, as much as I hate what happened, because, again, they were about to do what they did in the first game of the season where they were dominating the game, got to the fourth quarter and forgot how to play. No defense, no offense. But they rescued themselves this time. I actually think that was the game of the week. If you look at all of the games that were played, Seattle Rams were decent. But I feel like it came down to like the very last play. Just like five games this past weekend were decided on the last play.
Hell, Packers Giants last play. Think about that.
I mean, you just didn't expect that.
Right.
Kudos to the Bears. Kudos to Ben Johnson. You know who I give kudos to? And I've never said this before. I give kudos to the McCaskies or to the GM. Because
let's give it to Ryan Poles, I'll
give it to him because they finally ponied up money to get a real bona fide coach, someone who had proven themselves as being good. Not, I hope that Matt Eberflus. It sounds more like toothpaste or some kind of disease than a coach. We didn't go to Canada. We didn't go to Canada to get some no-name coach because we could get him on the cheap. They actually paid for somebody who other people wanted.
I'll echo the same sentiment. I think this goes credit to the coach. I think it goes to credit to a lot of the playmakers on the field now that they have, thankfully. I still don't give Caleb Lynch. I've never seen a ball overthrown so much in a game. Still to this day. I don't know how this guy keeps winning with his nail polish, but he does.
Well, you know who overthrows the ball more than he does?
JJ McCarthy.
That's it. JJ McCarthy overthrew the ball. He wasn't overthrowing the ball like this this. It was going in the stands.
I feel bad for Justin Jefferson at this point. I don't know who to feel worse for, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase right now. The LSU boys are getting horribly under you.
Well, I feel worse for Jefferson, and the reason why is this.
Yeah.
Chase has his quarterback. He just can't stay on the field.
Right.
And even when his quarterback went down, they went and got Mucho Flacco.
Minnesota made the wrong move, but they had a menu. They had a menu of quarterbacks to choose from, if you think about it, in the offseason.
Well, so think about what the Vikings did. The Vikings let Sam Darnold go, and we've seen what he did. Outside of the 4 interceptions this past week, he was one of the MVP candidates. Yeah. They didn't want to pay Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones left. So what did he do? He goes up to the Colts, and now they have the best record in the league.
Yep.
And they settled. They settled. They put all their eggs in the JJ McCarthy basket.
Yep.
And right now, you just might as well just make some eggnog because you're not getting much else.
This whole concept of number nine, it ain't gonna. It don't look good right now. Let's put it that way.
It does not. It does not. And I feel for JJ because he was out all last year. He's only played a handful of games, and yet he's being because of the pressure on him to perform. I think that's hurting his development, not helping.
They expected Joe Burrow results out of a guy, and that's
they did. Yes, they did. Unfair, but it's the reality of the NFL.
I'll give you the win of the weekend was Rams over Seahawks. Great divisional matchup. Top 2 teams, arguably 2 teams that are going to be vying for the NFC Championship. Huge win by the Rams at home. But you know why? You got Matt Stafford still. That's why. I mean, Sam Darnold looked very pedestrian, and that was the funny part.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, if Seattle's defense wasn't as stout as it is, they should have been blown out. No team gives up 4 interceptions, 2 or 3 of which put the other team in scoring position right away, and still have a chance to win.
The funny thing is the Rams have arguably the youngest defense in the NFL, but it is also the scariest defense in the NFL, in my opinion. Them boys, Jared Verse and them boys, they're angry.
Yeah, they are. And they play with aggression and force.
Sean
And that's
McVay. That's all I can say. Sean McVay, young guy, but the man knows how to coach. It's going to be fun to watch him the rest of his next 30 years, which is scary to think that he has that time.
Well, you know, the funny thing is this. The Rams, whether it was the coach or the GM, realized that they weren't going to win a championship with Jared Goff. And I'm saying that for a reason, because Jared Goff's on the Lions, and they looked like world beaters last year. They choked in the playoffs, and then they had the latest super egg against the Eagles this past Sunday.
Yep, you're absolutely right. The Lions can't seem to score a touchdown when they need to. And the fact that the Eagles stopped them 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I can't even remember what it was. It was stupid.
I think it was like 4 or 5 times they went on 4th down, and they were over. They were over. I mean, I get it, and I like the coach and love the way he coaches, and I pay for him. But at some point, you got to kick a field goal just to stop the monotony, stop the ridiculousness, so that your team can get back on track.
You held the Eagles to 16 points. And yeah, the Eagles' offense has some issues in its own right. But the fact is, you held them to 16 points. You put in 2 or 3 of those field goals, you're in this game.
Hello? Plus, how is a Lions offense not scoring 16 points?
Jahmyr Gibbs is a freak of nature, and I still don't understand how he doesn't get in the end zone. Like, it just boggles me.
Well, and they got Amon.
And everybody.
They got Williams. Laporta was out.
Now you lost Laporta, which is crazy.
Lost Laporta, but Williams got stupid speed. He scored their first touchdown.
Agreed.
You got St. Brown. You got all of
Montgomery. You got everything back there. I mean, it's crazy to think that it's just not working. But
which is
the North is going to be fun to watch.
Well, this is another reason. I always put little bets down at the beginning of the year. Last year, I bet on Philly. I put like $50 or something, $30. Philly to win the championship. I'm always going to cheer for the Chiefs and the Bears, but I'm just being a realist. This year, I thought the Lions might be that team, but I also put the Rams.
Yeah.
But here's the funny part. The Bears took Ben Johnson away from the Lions.
Yeah. And look what happened.
Look at their offense.
Yeah.
And Dan may be calling the offense now, but regardless of who's calling the offense, they don't look anything like they did last year.
Not as dynamic, and that's what's going to make the North very interesting down the stretch, honestly.
I like it. Well, last but not least, let's talk briefly about the Ravens. They've come back. You know what? Las Vegas odds makers, I give you credit. The fact that they were 1-5 and you still were picking them to win the division spoke volumes of what you thought about the other teams and the fact that the Ravens will turn it around.
This team's looking healthier every week. The defense is starting to slowly come around. Let's see them play some better teams. And frankly, now you've got multiple angles. You got Mark Andrews. You got Bateman. You got an old Devontae, or not an old Devontae, sorry, an old Hopkins. You've got Isaiah Likely. You've got way too many weapons. And of course, we forget, the guy that never gets used, Derrick Henry. That guy.
I mean, if they ever figure out that they have the Swiss Army knife in their pocket and they can do anything with it, they could actually win more games. But until then, they're going to still struggle through some of these games because they're trying to put too much on Lamar. I'm sorry. This still makes no sense to me. You got a workhorse who proved it, and it has proven it over his entire career.
Yep.
If he runs it 5 times and you get 5 yards, that means you just stop running the ball?
Exactly. No, like I said, show me them against some better teams because they've been on a cakewalk for the last 4 games, getting back to 500. Show me against their division. Let's see what happens in the month of November and December with them. And
especially when they play the Steelers, because that's the one team they got to beat to ensure they win the division. Otherwise, if they don't win their division, they might not make the playoffs. They'll be chasing.
Yep. And then cap off the week, Cowgirls and Raiders. It was already predicted. Of course, everybody in Dallas world is going to be talking about the Super Bowl after last night. It's just how it works. We can put up 30 points a game. We can score the Pickens and Lamb all day long.
Wow.
I guess your own division.
You know what? They've already had that part. That part they already had. What they didn't have is to play the Raiders every game of the season and so their defense look like their defense is good. So, you can have all of that. Again, I appreciate what they're doing for Marshawn
Yes.
And the things that he had been going through mentally, apparently, got the best of him and had him take his own life. I appreciate all that their organization is doing to honor the man.
Yep.
And hopefully that's something that will carry them through the entire season and isn't just a one-game thing. So we'll see how that works out. As far as playoffs, I think that's a big leap for the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowgirls have a tough schedule down the road, including against our own Chiefs on Thanksgiving, which now becomes an interesting game for both teams because of just where everything lies after this week.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's talk about our team. Let's talk about our team.
Well, let's talk about our team, but can we talk about our team after we get into this week, week 12?
Yeah.
We've got the Bills against the Texans. The Bills are going to play the Texans. If this would have been last year, I'd pick the Texans. This year, I'm not sure who the Texans are. And yes, they got a backup quarterback that's keeping them in games, but they're not going to beat the Bills.
They got a dude, a quarterback whose name is more representative of a law firm rather than a football team with Davis Mills. But at the end of the day, this is a huge matchup because now you're talking about two wild card teams again, and this is nuts.
This is true.
The winner basically gets the advantage when it comes to the wild card at this point. I'm picking the Bills on the road very easily. I think the Texans, while they're on the come up, I mean, the Bills are still looking solid. Yeah, they're going in and out a couple of weeks here and there where they play great and then they don't. But this is a must win for them. I think the Bills show up. I think Josh Allen puts up numbers.
I agree. I think Josh Allen he had his bad game or two. I think that he's realizing that the only way they win is by him not turning the ball over. And when he does that, they win. And he can run the ball. And
they're getting back to the recipe they had last year where they're running a 6-man box to protect him. And that's key. When he gets time, he's the most dangerous quarterback at this point.
Yeah. And Cook, too, keeping Cook in the running game going. I think they'll have the recipe. Titans don't look strong enough. Now, we can talk about our team. So, I thought
must-win game.
Last week's game was a must-win game for me. I was so surprised that they laid an egg. And they went up 19-16 and had a chance to win that game. They had the ball, and all of a sudden, it's like their offense went to, like, high school football.
I'll tell you what. Name me a drive where Patrick Mahomes, again, had more than 3 seconds to get rid of the ball. This offensive line is the most putrid thing I have seen in my life. I think there's only one worse front line in the NFL, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals, who let Joe Burrow get smashed all the time.
You know what? I would normally say that, and I know we've seen some of that, especially last year in the Super Bowl. However, I sent you a text yesterday or some point yesterday, and I noticed something in that game. And if you look at the tape, I bet you'll see the same. There were times that Mahomes could have thrown the freaking ball, and he was also holding it on. Caleb Williams. He was patting the ball, waiting to get sacked, patting the ball. You're supposed to know where your receivers are, and you throw to that point. You don't wait and then decide to throw.
I don't know whether it's some quarterback coaching or something going on. He needs to get back to where he was doing just whip snap kind of thing. And that's what he was good at. Whip, snap, quick decision, get the ball out, let your playmakers do their job instead of you trying to force a ball and waiting for that thing to develop because clearly when you're waiting, you're getting smashed.
He's getting smashed. And there were a couple of times he could have thrown to the flat. He patted the ball, he double pumped, and he took a sack. Double pumped, took a sack. Throwing to double coverage. Really? That is not the Mahomes that we've been used to seeing. So I would say it's not all on the offensive line. Based on some of the things I've seen the last couple of weeks.
Well, okay, count me another game. Jawan Taylor and now Josh Simmons both becoming cancers on the edge for protection. Both those guys are false starting left, right, and center both ways.
That's true. That's true.
Pissing me off every game. And it comes at the worst times, too. Oh, 3rd and 1. Okay, we can easily convert. Nope. 5-yard penalty. Back it up.
Yep.
Come on, guys. Where is your – and Jawan Taylor's the worst. That dude sits there a foot behind the line thinking, I got a head start. You suck, dude. You royally suck.
Well, and that to me, now, first off, that's on the player. We always like to blame the coaches, but that's on the player. You don't know to have your butt in line, your head in line with the center's butt at the very least. You can't be standing in the backfield thinking your alignment. You can't. Sorry, that doesn't work. But But the fact that, like, I'm a coach, you've been doing this. This isn't the first time this happened.
Yep.
I think I would just impose on you some type of penalty, fine, or removal from the game if you did it one more time.
Agreed.
Period.
I'd rather go with a backup lineman at this point and have protection that's going to be disciplined enough to at least play his position at this point, because it's not helping the team. These penalties are killing us right now.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Yep. And against the Colts, it's going to be fun to watch because this is another must-win game. It's at home. Can we prove our ground? Because the only way we're going to stay alive now, if you have to rattle off 6 of the next 7, simple as that.
Do you think? See, now before we played the Broncos, I was sure we can beat the Broncos, even in Denver, because Denver's offense doesn't look great, and it wasn't. Our defense kept us in the game, but our offense is so putrid, we couldn't even get the ball in the end zone.
The offense failed them in this one, and that's 100% true.
So what's going to happen this time?
Here's what's funny. So I think it was yesterday, Chris Jones tweets out there, and he puts up a little meme of Kanye West and saying, we don't have to win every game or something like that. Something to that effect. I got to look up the exact words, but it's basically as if they're still confident they can win every game. And I agree, the defense is that confident. I have full faith in that. But this offense has got to get in check and get in gear to operate like you do. The running game is putrid. Kareem Hunt is a goal line guy. He's not a guy that he'd run every back and every down.
But he wasn't horrible. But he wasn't horrible yesterday.
It's still pissing me off.
Yeah, he wasn't horrible. I think they need to do more, flat passes, screen plays to be able to open the field up to allow more running.
I mean, he's kind of a stopgap right now, but I mean, he had a big game because he was getting open just in a little bubble screens up in the middle. I mean, nothing crazy, but he got the ball, made the play. Why can't we do that with our outside receivers the same way, or even our running backs?
I have no idea. We've got all of this supposed speed and all of these things. I feel like Matt Nagy must be calling the plays again because all of a sudden we become ineffective. What's that?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm serious. Because they have too many weapons for it to look like this. And people are thinking instead of doing. And Mahomes never had to think. Mahomes was instinctual. Now he's being thoughtful. You need to stop doing that. What's wrong?
Yep. Get back to your natural abilities. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Can we stop Jonathan Taylor? It's going to be interesting to see.
All right, so here's my question.
Yep. If the Colts win this game, it's on Danny Dimes.
Well, I'm a fan. But do you think the Chiefs are going to win this game?
No, I don't think they are. I think they're going to lose.
I do too. I've got the Colts on the sheet.
Colts are coming off a bye. They're going to be fresh. Jonathan Taylor's going to run.
Are they going to even stop JT? And here's another thing. Chris Jones is great. You can talk that smack. But I'm sorry. You've been AWOL this year. Who are you? AWOL. Yep. Who are you?
Exactly.
You
guys are doing their job.
But he's lucky that everybody else is doing their jobs. The linebackers are doing their job. Special K is throwing Greek madness all over the place.
Yep.
What are you doing, Chris Jones, except talking?
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see. If the run stop doesn't come in the front line, this game's going to be over by halftime. I think the Colts are going to run roughshod. I agree. And their defense is actually pretty decent too. So, so you got the Colts. I got the Colts. Yep.
I hate to say that, but it's time. It's time to let you know what the dynastic run of being in the Super Bowl almost every year. What's that?
You gotta get back to playing pure football.
Yeah, and that's not happening anymore. And I'm sorry.
Oh.
I think Kelsey's going to retire this year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go out. He was hoping to go out on a high note, but I think he's going to retire.
He ain't got that magic anymore.
Well, and I think Andy Reid hasn't lost it, but I feel like Matt Nagy never had it.
It's a personnel issue right now.
Yeah, but I feel like Matt Nagy never had it, and we've got Rice, who is our best receiver. We've got Worthy, who should take the top off defenses. We've got Gray and Kelsey, who should be good enough to play in between the hash marks.
And Tunyon. What's that? People don't talk about the fact we got Robert Tunyon too, who is a capable tight end.
So why aren't we getting it done?
Yeah.
I think Nagy needs to go. Nagy needs to go, and they need to bring somebody else in there with a fresh mind.
A little bit of a fresh perspective to work with Reed and kind of come up with some more creativity. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, because Nagy's done. I'm blaming Nagy on all of that.
The other biggest fear is you lose Spagnuolo in the offseason to a job.
Yeah, but couldn't he have already gone?
Oh, yeah, I think he could have gone many, many years ago and many, many times. I feel like he's also maybe going to be smart and stick around. That way he can be the successor. That would be the best thing.
That would be the best thing. And I think him and Fangio are two of the guys, in my opinion, who know that they're the best at their craft. And we talked about this before. Sometimes it's not as great to get that next promotion because you lose the control over the thing you might have loved and were the best at, which would be OC or DC. So just wonder about that.
100% agree. 100% agree.
So
Steelers, Bears.
Wait, we're both taking the Colts, right?
We're both taking the Colts. We're both taking the Colts.
So, excuse us, Chief Nation, but we are being realists.
Yeah, we're being realists. Simple as that. Steelers, Bears.
You never know with the Bears. I'm tired of them being cardiac kids. I got to go with the Bears because they're at home. They're at home.
Home game against Mason Rudolph, probably.
Oh, that's true. That's another reason why they should win. But the Bears haven't had good luck against backup quarterbacks. Paging Mr. Huntley.
Snoop.
Exactly.
I'm going to go Bears in this one. They better freaking show up.
Well, I think what needs to happen is this. It's weird because the Bears have shown they can play from behind late in games, but they can't hold the lead when they're winning. So to me, I think they can get the lead here. I think they can, have home field advantage work for them, but they need to learn how to play when they're winning. You can't just all of a sudden go into a shell and go 3 and out, and your defense all of a sudden starts giving up stuff. So, if the Steelers have Rudolph playing, I'm sorry, they should be at even a greater deficit from an offensive perspective.
Yeah, no, it'll be a fun one to watch. Patriots Bengals is an easy one, I think. I don't think we even need to discuss that one. Mike Brady's gonna have those guys. So easy one there. Jets Ravens. Do we call that one easy? It's in Baltimore.
Come on, man. What you mean? Do we call that one easy?
Hey, all I'm saying is the Ravens better take care of business. They got a soft schedule until they play the division. We'll see where that one goes.
I agree.
Seahawks Titans, another one that should be an easy call, I think.
Seahawks Titans, that's not a game.
Yeah, so same thing there.
Let's get rid of the fluff. So Seahawks Titans isn't a game. We can save the Packers Vikings. Lions Giants, that's not a game.
I'm gonna.
I think you did that last week too.
I'll go Lions. That one's easy fine for right now.
They're in Detroit. They're playing the Giants
because they're in Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. Is Dart coming back, or are they still going to go with I still want some Dart for free?
Yeah, Dart's back, but like I said, I still think that defense is for real. The Giants' defense is still good, but Lions are at home. We're in a must-win situation. I'll go Lions. That one's easy. Jags Cardinals. I mean, again, Lord Farquaad gonna lay an egg. I don't know. Jacoby Brissett still put up monster numbers.
He completed what 48 passes.
48 or something,
which is like an NFL record.
Yeah.
And they still lost. So I don't know. I can't not take the Jaguars. I just can't.
Well, yeah, I'll go Lord Farquaad on that one. Browns Raiders. Are we supposed to watch?
So that's funny. Because to me, that's like the worst game on the slate. I just took the home team just because they're the home team. What's that?
Myles Garrett against Max Crosby. That's what I call that one. Shoot.
Well, and now who's going to start? Shador?
Supposedly, I think Shador may get the start.
Then I'm definitely taking the Raiders.
You know what? I'm going to go Browns because Myles Garrett's been a freak. Dude had 4 sacks this weekend on Lamar.
That's true. And he's earning his money. I don't understand why.
Ball out. Yeah. Gino hasn't gotten the ball out. They can't get the ball to Janty. Like, the Raiders' offense is a mess. That's the reason I say that.
I'm just wondering, when does Myles Garrett say, you know what? As much as I love the city of Cleveland and love playing for this team, I can see that we'll never going to win or even put myself in a winning situation to get to the Super Bowl, let alone win the Super Bowl.
that dude's going to go down as the greatest defensive player for the worst team in America. It's sad to say.
It is sad to say. Another game that I don't feel like we want to talk about, even though it could be an upset, Falcons Saints.
It better be Falcons, but they're only a game up on the Saints. So I couldn't tell. I mean,
and they got 2 chains.
Yeah, they got Kirko 2 chains. Kirko might go off. We'll see what happens. Well, let's get to the good games. So let's start with the first one: Vikings Packers. Divisional game, must win in Green Bay. I'm going to go Packers, I think, on this one because, frankly, the Vikings aren't looking great. And J.J. McCarthy, you suck right now. Michael Parsons might light you up.
You know what? I'm going the same way. I'm going Packers. And here's the funny thing. There used to be a show called Good Times.
Yes.
And back in the day, they had JJ on Good Times. He go, Dynamite. And he got famous off of that. Yep. Well, this JJ isn't dynamite. And I'm sorry, you got enough players to be effective on offense. You picked the wrong quarterback of the 3 that you had. Yeah. Not a known commodity, not proven himself.
Exactly.
Flashes in the pan, but nothing great. Got to go with the Packers. Yep. Eagles Cowboys. Is this really a hard game to pick? I don't care if it's
supposed to be a game. I think the Eagles should win pretty easily, but frankly, they haven't put up enough points in the last 4 weeks. That's the thing. That offense is still anemic for what it is. Saquon doesn't get the ball anymore, and even if he does, like they shut him out in the second half. They don't let him run. They try to throw the ball to A.J. Brown and Devontae and rely too much on Goddard. I don't know what's going on with the play calling in Philly, but it's just absolute trash.
So I got a question.
The Cowboys can still put up points.
But here's my question, and this is more of a conspiracy theorist perspective.
Sure.
You had 2 running backs that dominated the NFL last year in Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. It almost broke records.
Right.
Saquon would have broken the record, but he decided not to.
Yeah.
Is there a conspiracy by the NFL to keep a cap on how much running backs are supposed to have as a value standpoint and a salary standpoint? Because those 2 running backs are the 2 least used running backs this year. Jonathan Taylor's going off. He's getting his 20-plus carries a game. Why aren't these 2 getting 20-plus carries a game?
I don't know if I've got a particular year in mind, but I think it was the year after whoever the Titans had. It was like Chris Johnson or something like that. Chris Johnson, I think, ran for like a 1,700 or 1,800 yards at one point. So he was a quarterback. He was a running back for the Titans. But ever since that time till now, and I want to say that was probably like 2008, 2009-ish. I can't remember what year it was that he was running. Till now, I feel like there's been a limitation on how running backs have been used in the NFL. And that could be the conspiracy very well in play. Because think about it. The mid-2000s, it was Priest Holmes, Jamal Charles, freaking,
name one.
Well, Lewis,
they were the focal point of the offense.
Yeah. They were the rock bearers. They got the ball 30 times a game, easily.
So is this an NFL thing, meaning the league, or is this an offensive coordinator thing? Because how do I show that I'm a great offensive coordinator if I'm always running the ball effectively?
All in the air. Put up the circus and pony show. That's the thing. I think it's a dual-edged sword. I think it's both a conspiracy on both fronts, honestly. The NFL knows that cool plays sell, Offensive coordinators know that their rep is strictly built on being able to get the ball in the air and make cool plays. So,
I have a feeling it's a little bit of both. Because I just don't understand how you go from the 2 best running backs showing you that are 2 best running backs to those 2 running backs being the 2 worst running backs in the league.
I'm going to throw a wrench in here just to be a wrench. I'm going to go Cowboys.
No way. Stop it.
I'll give you an unjustified answer. So yesterday, yes, they played the Raiders, obviously not even competition, whatever. But the Cowboys did manage to make a couple of interesting moves on their defense to where they've increased their pass rush because now they've got Overshawn and Quinnen Williams, right? So they're beefed up their front line. They never really had, greatest pass rush ever because you got rid of Mike Parsons, obviously. That didn't help. The secondary has always been suspect, and it still continues to be suspect. Philly can't seem to get the ball to their receivers these last 4 weeks. Literally. I don't know how they can't. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I think a lot of it has to do with Philly's inept play calling. They don't know how to mix up the game. They don't know how to do anything, whatever. Because of that, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, like in the 20s, I want to say, where the ball gets into Dak's hands last minute, and you have Lamb and Pickens, who are unbelievable playmakers at this point, and they're hungry. I'm going to go a last-second win by the Cowboys at home on this one.
You can do that. I'm taking the Eagles. Nothing. I don't even have the reasons why.
Just for the sake of giving it.
Even if the Dallas got a couple guys back on defense that have been out, it has been my perspective that four offenses that are known to actually be good and they play the Cowboys, all of a sudden they're resurrected. So we'll see what happens on that one.
True.
We got two more games left, and both of them are very interesting. Both of them involve NFC West teams who are at the top there, the Rams being at the top since they beat Seattle, and the 49ers. So I'm going to go Rams. So Rams Buccaneers, that's the Sunday night game, right?
Yep.
Buccaneers need this game. Probably not as badly as others, but if they don't win and the Panthers win, now all of a sudden the tables are turned. And again, as you mentioned, the winner of that division may be the only team that makes it to the playoffs.
As much as I want to see the Bucs can put up a fight, that Rams secondary is for real, dude. And
the pass rush and their you run stuffing, and then they
get the weapons on offense. I mean, I'm sorry, but the Rams are going to win this one. I think it's a given.
I agree. I think that as great as the first half was for Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay, so the second half has been just as bad as it was great.
Too much pressure on him to have to carry the team right now. That's the problem.
Yeah, and they're in a free fall, and having Godwin out and having Evans out. Bouquet has been hurt.
But look at that secondary for the Rams. I mean, you have 4-man pass rush and everything else. It's just scary. So no, I gotta go Rams.
You know what? And you still got Puka.
And Kyron Williams is running a rough shot. I mean, they've got crazy stuff going on there. It's good.
Watch out.
And the resurrection of Devontae Adams. I mean, come on.
That's right. So Rams. Last but not least, 49ers, Panthers. 49ers are at home.
I'm going CMC and the boys at home. Panthers are on the come up, but I mean that 49er team, that proved me this weekend. That was a huge win by them on Seattle this week.
I would agree that the 49ers are, in my opinion, the better team. The Panthers
Brock Purdy looks solid.
Brock Purdy's back.
Yes.
I just feel like CMC, this version that doesn't get injured, is enough to carry them. Kittle has still got the qualities of the best tight end in the league, which he was a few years ago, even with Kelsey.
Receiver-wise, they're starting with their third-string receiver because Pearsall's been out. Brandon Ayuk's never seen the field in 3 years. I mean, they just keep doing it. That's the thing.
They keep doing that thing, and quite frankly, they're probably going to be the team that's going to make the playoffs and make people's lives hard in the wild card round because they won't win their division. But they'll be ready to play. I got the 49ers. I can't see how they don't win. We are at a 72% clip for the entire year, 92-57 with one tie. One thing I just wanted to wish upon everybody, we'll have one more session before the Thanksgiving season, but just remember the holidays are coming up. It's time to spend money. Not a fan of that part. But it's also time to spend with the people that you care about the most.
Try to give back to your community. That's what I say this holiday season. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And frankly, I don't think it's talked about enough. I mean, we saw, obviously government shutdown, all that stuff going on, everything else, but there's still needy people out here, folks. I mean, that's the thing. Help where you can in your community.
That's right. If you got a chance to pass out turkeys or do this or do that this time of year at a church or wherever, find the time to do it. It is very needed. And there are people who got the SNAP program who are being asked to now reapply for it, another way to delay for them to not get their money. And this is the worst time of year for people who, this isn't like this is, money being used to buy presents. This is money to be used to be feeding your families.
Yes, sir.
So if there's anything that we can do to help, Let's do it, y'all.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. On that note, like my partner said, we'll try to meet up again before the holidays next week. Give you our Thanksgiving edition, if you will, of what's to come, including our own Chiefs and Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. Should be an interesting one, but no, lots of fun time for, like I said, family, friends, and sports at this time of year.
I'm gonna miss John Madden and his turducken,
big time,
and his Maddenisms. I'm gonna miss that.
John Madden still go down to me as one of the greatest tag team duos in football history. There's no
totally agree. Boom.
Yes. When you've got a video game series that's named after you, you know you've made it.
You know what? If there's something you ever want to watch, they have, I think it's a 30 for 30 or ESPN Films, and it's on Madden, the game, and the development of it. And they show it from the beginning days. And I remember that because we were all playing it and enjoying it. And the fact that Madden wanted to have the best quality in the video game that he put his name on, you know, just kudos to him. You created a product that'll last the test of time.
Something that never had glitches, by the way.
Well, maybe there were a few along the way, but the finished product, boy, was it something.
Yeah, we put up a 1,200-yard game one time. It was
fun. It's not like what's that called? Tecmo Bowl, where you had the Bo Jackson move, or you had the San Francisco tight end Jerry Rice move. No matter what, if you stood your guy right in front of him, the ball would go through you and go right to the guy.
Oh, good times for sure. But no, reminisce with some of the old games if you can. But yeah, absolutely. But like I said, we'll see you guys next week, Thanksgiving edition. Hopefully we've been right about this week, but actually I hope we're wrong about the Colts game. We'll see where it goes.
I hope we're wrong about that game. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. Catch you guys later.
All right. Be well.